So recently I was reading a story about the late Dr. Freddie Fu, who I'm just a big fan of and will always be thinking about him when it comes to sports medicine. And another dear friend of mine who is still with us, a great guy, Dr. Joe Maroon, absolutely love him. But recently there was a story about Charles Smith and Freddie Fu and this bond that they really formed back in the day when Charles Smith had an injury and he needed help and he was worried about his career. And it was the confidence and the reassurance of Freddie Fu that he would get him back into the game, and he did. And how they actually played a game of one-on-one basketball. Would I love to have seen that? You bet. I would have loved to have been in the rafters at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse when those two guys squared off. Pretty good stuff. And Freddie was a pretty good basketball player too. And Joe Maroon, of course, is another hero of mine, the guy that's reinvented being in shape. And it doesn't mean you have to slow down the older you get. But when it comes to Pitt basketball, I'm such a big fan of not just, Coach Capel and what they're doing now, but back in the day when the Big East was booming. And, Pitt has a game coming up on Tuesday at the Peterson Event Center against Notre Dame. And you got Goodwin as far as Notre Dame right now leading the way for them, and Hughley leading the way, the other guard, the other team. But the names that I remember the most going back to the day were people like Charles Smith and Jerome Lane and Sean Miller and so many others that were just such a big part of my life in loving Pitt basketball. But great rivalries, Notre Dame, Digger Phelps, Paul Evans, University of Pittsburgh Panthers, and of course, hey, Jamie Dixon all of those years as well, and Ben Howland. It didn't get any better when these teams would get together. And even though times have changed and maybe we have a few different names involved, one thing is for sure, they're still doing great sports medicine at the University of Pittsburgh because of UPMC and the legacy of people like Freddie Fu. And with Joe Maroon still around, it's all good as far as out in Oakland is concerned. And when they tip off Tuesday, we'll kind of wake up the echoes and celebrate that great rivalry that has deep roots that goes back to the days of Jock Sutherland and Newt Rockne on the football field. And remember, your broadcast home of the Pitt Panthers, 93.7 The Fan, and of course, Coos Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. My colleague and I, Greg Dialis, of course, a graduate of that Pitt Law School. We're always talking about the University of Pittsburgh Panthers. So you got Pitt Notre Dame the 28th, and of course you got the bowl game, Michigan State and Pitt on December 30th. So hey, hail Pitt, happy holidays from all of us here at Dr. Bill Zammerilla's office, wishing you and yours a very special and blessed holiday season. Have a great day, everybody.